Hello, I am Fathi Elwazzan talking about density, relative density, and specific gravity. Density is expressed by the Latin character rho. It is rho. Definition of density, it is mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume. It is a relation between mass and volume. You can say density is the mass of 1 meter cube, or density is the mass of 1 centimeter cube. That's it. This is the definition. What if we fix the volume? The equation is the general for any volume. Here is the equation. Whatever the mass and whatever the volume, I can calculate the density. But if we fix the volume to 1 meter cube, that means density will equal to the mass. You can say rho equal to m over v. This is the first equation. As we see here in the figure, if we have two substances with the same volume, 1 meter cube and 1 meter cube, then the heavier one will has the higher density. But if the volume become 2 meter cube or 3 meter cube, then I will use the equation. I have to use the equation here. Density equal to mass over volume. This is the main equation for density. And very, very simple. What about units? I will use tons or kilogram for mass units. Mass units will be tons or kilograms. Volume units will be either meter cube or centimeter cube. But don't use both of them in one example or one problem. Don't use both of them. You cannot compare between centimeter cube and meter cube. A little bit complicated because 1 meter cube contains 1 million of centimeter cube. About density units will be the result kilogram per meter cube, kilogram per centimeter cube, or ton per meter cube. This is the units of mass, volume, and density. Okay, you can use the equation by different ways. You can use it as a density equal mass over volume, or you can use it as mass equal to volume multiplied by density. You can use it by any form you need. But don't forget that the mass is the greatest value. That's why I am using multiplication here. Let's go to the examples. Let's take the fresh water. This is very famous. Density of fresh water equal to 1000 kilogram per meter cube. That means 1 meter cube of fresh water weighing 1000 kilogram or 1 ton. And so on for salt water. Density of salt water 1025 kilogram per meter cube. Density of wood 700 kilogram per meter cube. We can say 0.7 tons per meter cube. Density of iron, which is heavier, 8000 kilogram per meter cube, or we can say 8 tons per meter cube. Both of them, whatever you need. The units of mass is simple unit, ton, kilogram, whatever. Units of volume is very simple. All units here are very simple except units of density. Units of density is little bit complicated, and we need to skip from these units. That's why they create relative density and the specific gravity. Both of them are the same. They are created to avoid units completely. Freshwater density will be our unit, and we start to compare all the substances density to the freshwater density. Okay, it is a relation between the density of any substance to the density of freshwater. This is the second equation. A relative density of any substance will equal to density of substance over the density of fresh water. You can use either RD or you can use SG. Both of them are the same. Relative density of substance equal to density of substance over the density of fresh water. Density of fresh water is a very simple figure. I have example here. Relative density of iron equal to mass of iron over the mass of fresh water will equal to 8, and the result will have no units. There is no units in relative density or specific gravity. That means the density of iron is 8 times density of fresh water, and so on. That's why I escape from the units. I have some examples here. Return back again to fresh water. Relative density will equal to 1000 divided by 1000 will equal to 1, and I have no units here. Relative density of salt water equal to 1.025. The same. I am using the same equation. Relative density of wood is 0.7 without units. Relative density of iron is 8. And I like to mention here the relative density of wood is less than 1. That means this substance will float over the water, whatever fresh water or salt water. But the substance must has a relative density less than 1, like wood. Wood is floating above the water, but iron is sinking inside the water. Why? Because the relative density of iron is greater than relative density of fresh water. That's why any density above 1 will sink. It is a little remark here. In examples, or if you solve problems in density, if the relative density is given, you can use it as density, because relative density here is 8 for iron, and the density also for iron is 8. But if you use it as a density, you have to mention the units, and if you use it as a relative density, you don't need to use any units. We complete the session now, but only one item remaining. Liter is a volume unit, and 1 liter equal to 1000 milliliter, or you can say 1000 centimeter cube. This is 1 liter. That means 1 milliliter is the same as 1 centimeter cube. This is used in some specific branches like medicine, perfumes, and other fields. Also, they are using ml, milliliter, instead of centimeter cube. Okay. Next video we will talk about types of water, difference between mass, weight and displacement, flotation, also Archimedes' law of flotation. Thank you very much for watching.